It's not all happening at the eastern end of the canal, but there's also an active group in the ABBEYSHRULE Balnacargie area west of Mullingar. Here, this group undertook the daunting task of staunching swallow holes in the bed of the canal, where it passes through a bog section. This was done by filling plastic bags full of turf mould and packing them into the swallow holes. Here you see the bed of the canal with the swallow holes being opened up preparatory to dropping the bags of turf mould in. When the holes had been filled up with sacks, plastic sheeting was stretched over them and turf mould applied on top of this. And finally, heavy quality plastic sheeting was extended right across the bed of the canal, and it in turn was covered with turf mould. So you can see it was really a very, very big task. In addition to staunching the swallow holes, there was also a considerable amount of building up of the banks required across the bog section before the water could be allowed in again. Here you see the completed canal, which is now being re-watered, and it's hard to realize that this is the same place that you saw a few moments ago. Now that the water can be let into this level, it's possible to bring water down from the upper levels of the canal to ABBEYSHRULE, instead of using the plan which had originally been intended of pumping up water from the River Inny at the aqueduct at ABBEYSHRULE. As if the problems were not enough, the group also had to face some local opposition to restoring the canal. This was not just vocal, but took the form of active attempts to sabotage their work. Here, Ian Bath is assisting Martin Cassidy and Liam Murtagh to open up an overflow channel which had been maliciously closed before the work had been completed, causing extensive flooding. In ABBEYSHRULE, a considerable amount of work was carried out taking the weed growth out of the canal before letting the water in. This is the culvert bridge in the village of ABBEYSHRULE, and the harbour here was also cleaned out, leaving a considerable amount of work to be done by the group cleaning up the debris taken out of the harbour. The old canal bridge has been left here at ABBEYSHRULE in addition to the new culvert bridge, and there's not a great deal of traffic across the bridge, so it may be possible to take the culvert out and revert to using the old canal bridge again. Here you see on the culvert bridge Martin Cassidy on the right, Ian Bath in the centre, and Liam Murtagh on the left. Martin and Liam were the moving force behind all the work in this area. Here they are inspecting the aqueduct near ABBEYSHRULE, which is the access road to the little airport here. And further along with Mrs. McNamara and her family, she had been secretary of the group, they're looking at the work being carried on by the digger to clean out the weed growth from the canal. Here you can see how the digger was first of all operating up along one towpath, cleaning out that side of the canal, and then was to be moved over to clean out the other side. This gives you some idea of the dense weed growth which had to be cleared.